everyone, welcome back to the channel and into another video. Today I'm going to do a sit down cozy Q&A. I put out a YouTube community post a few weeks back asking if you guys had any questions for me, and I've got a few to answer today. So let's get into it. Grab yourself a cup of tea. This might be a long one. So question 1, you mentioned you manifested your recent job. Is manifestation something you do consciously? What practices do you follow? So funnily, before I even knew what the term manifesting meant, I was in a sense already doing it. So when I was younger, every night when I went to sleep, and those 5 to 10 minutes before you actually fall asleep, I would imagine what life would be like when I grew up, what I would feel like if I had my dream job, to have a husband, to have a family with kids, to be financially independent, to travel to all these places that I wanted to go. So I would do this pretty much every night. And little did I know this is a form of manifesting. But to me, I thought I was just imagining things. And so I have carried this habit into my adulthood, and I still do this to this day. So now I'm fully aware of this, and I believe that I've manifested some of these things that have come true in my life so far. But other than that, for the last 2 years, I also tried the vision board method, and I think that's worked too. Question number 2. Will you consider launching a podcast channel? You've got lots of ideas, thoughts, experiences, and hobbies. I think it'll be worth it. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. You know what? I've definitely thought about it because I do like talking. But then I also feel like I'm not interesting enough to have a podcast. And realistically, I wouldn't be able to keep up with a consistent schedule at this stage. But I have joked about starting one with a friend. But I also think the podcast space is quite saturated now. So we would really have to brainstorm what's our niche. Having said that, I have tried it out a little with some sit down themed videos in my YouTube channel, and just to test the waters, and that's been fun. So I might just continue to do that. For example, if I were to increase to 2 videos per week, I could do 1 vlog and 1 podcast style video, something like that. Okay, question number 3. What's a memorable compliment anyone has given you recently? Ooh, this is a unique question. I like it. Let me think. You know what? I can't think of a compliment someone has given me recently. Well, if I can't think of something straight away, then I guess it isn't memorable either. Oh, that's actually a bit sad. But it was a really good question. Question number 4. How'd you and your husband meet? Ooh, I love this story. So my husband and I met on the bus. Yes, public transport bus. So we were both university students and taking the bus back home to regional Victoria from Melbourne CBD. And where our family homes are is on an island that's about 2 hours away from Melbourne, and the population is quite small, so everyone generally knows everyone. But somehow I had never met him. I only knew about him. So I only knew that he was my younger brother's friend's older brother, who works at Woolworths, the supermarket. And he knew me as the noodle girl because my parents had a noodle box restaurant. And because I worked there all the time, that's how many people recognized me. So when he approached me on the bus, I suddenly put the 2 and 2 together. So he was very smooth, and he got my number by the end of the bus ride. And we went out on our first date about 5 days later. That is so crazy to think that was 12 years ago. Oh my God. Okay, question number 5. What's your upcoming goal related to health and jobs and finances? Okay, so work-wise, I would love to transition to a remote role. so I can have more flexibility and autonomy over my time. I still haven't tried working from home yet, like even through COVID. I had an on-site job, so I really want to experience it and see how life-changing it can be in terms of having like more time for life and less time for commuting. And then in terms of career, for the first time ever, I'm kind of leaving it a bit open. I mean, I still have the desire to be a designer or a buyer or a product developer, something along those lines, within the fashion accessories industry. But I also feel like my current position as a business development manager has kind of diverted my path a bit. And so I guess I'll just see how it goes. I mean, I've always had this struggle to pick between my passion or like where my skills and experiences are. Like they're two different things for me. And it's like, do I pick a job I truly enjoy or something that pays for a good lifestyle? You know? Decisions. And as for health, I'm actually quite happy with my current exercise and diet routine. And so I would say my next focus is maybe finding ways to like regulate my monthly cycles. I'm someone who's never had a predictable pattern, and so I'm interested to research into why and like how I can support that and maybe fix it if that's possible. I don't know. Question number 6. Where do you wish to travel next? Let's see. Well, in terms of new countries that we haven't been to before, next on our travel bucket list is Vietnam, Philippines, New Zealand, and Malaysia maybe, and maybe Tahiti as well. Not in that particular order, but when it comes to the next holiday, we'll probably just pick one of those. I would really love to go to Greece, but I'm pretty sure that's not next on the list. So one day. Okay, question number 7. What would your dream job be other than anything art and design related? Let's see. This is a tricky one. Not art and design related. Okay, well, I've got a few that come to mind, but I wouldn't say they're dream jobs, but I've definitely thought about them. So the first one is maybe working at a day spa, doing like facials or something. I really like that like quiet Zen environment. So I think that would be quite enjoyable, like quite relaxing, you know? But I've also thought about something within like the textiles technology space, like something at a more scientific level, like that involves working in labs and testing samples of fabrics and something like that. And lastly, maybe something to do with travel. Oh, you know what? When I was younger, I did aspire to be an air hostess because I loved their uniforms and I thought they were really cool, you know, just strolling through the airport with their suitcases. And I loved traveling. So there was a time I really wanted to do that, but I have travel sickness, so that kind of killed it for me. But yeah, even a travel agent sounds kind of fun. Question number 8. What are some of the most valuable lessons you've learned from your current/past jobs? I would say in hindsight that growth happens when your work delivers impact and you make it visible to your managers, as opposed to just putting your head down and working really hard, sort of in the background. Like, don't get me wrong, I definitely believe in working hard. But when you do it in a high profile way, it perceives you to be more valuable to the company, therefore giving you leverage for promotions and growth and salary increases, etc. And what I mean is things like emailing or CCing the boss in what you're working on, like just as an FYI sort of way, plus the results of it, using data and numbers to show the positive change that you've made during your performance reviews, putting your hand up for important projects or big clients, so you're contributing to the high revenue work, and just things like that. Like, of course, in a humble, like matter of fact sort of way, not in that like show off kind of way. Because in my experience, I worked for a company for 4 years with no career progression. And then I changed jobs and I made this subtle switch. And within 3 years, I had doubled my earnings and like leveled up my job title. So I feel like that change like did a lot for me in a short amount of time. Question number 9. In general, what are your strengths and weaknesses? I kind of feel like I'm in a job interview or something. Okay, let's start with strengths. The first one would be that I'm highly organized. I'm like a serious planner, and so I can keep on top of things. Secondly, I'm self-disciplined, making me quite consistent in things that I set out to do. And thirdly, I think I'm quite adaptable. So if you throw me into any situation, I'll adjust and thrive. But on the flip side, one of my weaknesses is impromptu speaking in any formalish kind of setting. I'm okay with spontaneous conversations, but when it comes to interviews, presentations, public speaking, I'm so nervous. Like my mind goes blank unless I have prepared in advance, which doesn't make it impromptu. But yeah. Secondly, would be my sense of direction. I don't have an internal compass, so I'm always walking in the wrong direction. Okay, question number 10. Would you ever consider streaming crochet lessons? Ooh, wouldn't that be fun? You know what? I have thought about it. I was thinking if I was to level up my YouTube channel, I would maybe create a membership option, and those videos are all crochet tutorials, crochet live streams, crochet patterns, etc. So people who are actually paying for that would get some value out of it, and I could generate some income from it. Yeah, I've definitely considered it. Maybe not right now, but in future. Okay, question 11. What is next for your YouTube channel? Oh, the previous question is a great segue for this question. So let's see. For the time being, I think I'm going to continue what I'm doing. The current mix that I've got going on is working quite well from an analytics point of view. My crochet and travel videos are the ones that are doing well for attracting new viewers, but everyday vlogs is kind of what my regular viewers like to watch. And so my aim is to keep the same mix and maybe add in a few more chatty podcast style videos. I'm thinking of eventually filming in more creative angles though, so I don't have to blur my face out as much. Like it's more just out of the frame and you can see my back or my side profile without me facing the camera directly. I don't know, I might experiment with that in the future for like the vlog style videos. And question number 12. What is your favorite snack and why? Oh, this is a fun one to end with. Let's see. If we're talking about healthy snacks, then some kind of fruit, because I love fruit and I can snack on them all day. I know it's not a fun answer, but it's true. Fruit is a perfect snack in my opinion because it's filling, but it's not too filling. It's refreshing, crunchy sometimes, and satisfies that craving to munch on something. But if we're talking about fun snacks, then I like something with a crunch. Something like Cheetos puffs, like cheese puffs, cheese and bacon balls, sweet and salty popcorn, and like Pocky sticks. Those are some of my faves. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this and found it interesting to listen to. If you have any other questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you there. And that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more from me. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you in the next one.